I really dropped the ball when I wasn't pregnant. I had a lot more free time back then to make content, put out things that I've made. I had a lot more free time to do that while I wasn't pregnant. But now that I have my son, I can drop the ball, but I can't drop the baby. Sometimes it's hard to get stuff done, to be productive, or to be creative while you have a baby, a newborn baby at that. So I thought I would create a video just talking about how I do things so that I can still get things done, be productive, and mainly be creative. That's mainly what it'll be focused on in this video, just how I'm able to get videos out, even though it's still not very consistent, but I'm still able to get videos out and write up certain posts and write poetry and things like that. So I'll discuss that in this video, and just gonna jump right into it. Try to do what you can while the baby is sleeping. I usually don't have my baby in my arms while I'm trying to do a video, but I felt it was okay for a video like this one. He's comfortable and sleeping, so I'm able to do what I need to do. I'm even able to write up a post this way or jot some notes or key points to highlight for the video, the blog post, the Instagram post, whatever it is. And he's actually waking up now, like he just woke up, but the point still stands because I'm still able to do the video. I'm still able to, write the content or whatever it is that needs to be done because he's content. He literally just woke up. It is 9 in the morning. We both actually just woke up. He'll have a bottle here in a minute, but the point still stands. This is a way that you can create content while you have your baby. Do what you can while the baby is eating. So I know that might be a little harder if you strictly breastfeed and you don't pump or anything, you just strictly breastfeed. I tried to breastfeed in the beginning and it was okay for a little bit, but eventually didn't work out. So now my son is strictly formula fed, so he gets a bottle. I don't do this every time, but sometimes if I'm trying to get something done, even just around the house, like cleaning or trying to wash my face and brush my teeth at least or something. As far as content creation goes and making videos and things like that, sometimes if I'm trying to do that, I'll make his bottle, I'll sit him in his boppy, and then I'll roll up a blanket or put a pillow on top of him. And usually when I do that, he knows his bottle is about to come now, so he'll instantly calm down and get excited, and then I'll give him his bottle and I'm able to do whatever it is that I need to do in that moment, whether it's cleaning or recording a video or writing a poem, writing a blog post, whatever the situation is at the time. So there he is with his bottle. I used a pillow this time. Usually everything is propped up a bit better, but just for the sake of this video, I just did it this way. You can also do what you can after the baby is finished eating. So sometimes after my son is finished eating, I'll take him out of the boppy just to burp him and everything. And then I'll put him back in the boppy and he's sitting there chilling, happy, content because, he's fed and full. I actually use this tip or trick or method, whatever you want to call it, I used in my recent video, which was the spoken word reaction video I did on the piece was called Therapy. So while I was doing that video, he had just had his bottle, so he was sitting on the bed and I was sitting at the end of the bed in front of the window, and he was just sitting there content and happy. You could hear him talking in the background, but he was content. He wasn't fussy and crying and super loud to where you couldn't hear me at all through the video. You could only hear him. It was just certain moments throughout the video he had to put his input in as well, I guess. So you can do that as well. Wait till after you feed the baby to start doing what you need to do or creating your content while they're happy because they're fed and full. Do what you can with an extra set of helping hands. So as mothers, as fathers, as parents, guardians in general, most of the time our hands are full. So if it's not with the baby, it's with baby items like washing their clothes, washing their bottles, or if it's not the baby items, it's household items or our personal items. If it's not that and we're creating content, then we have a camera in our hand, or we have an iPad in our hand, or we have a notebook in our hand, or we have certain materials in our hand, depending on whatever it is that we do. Our hands are full. So it does, like I said, I said this in my previous video, it takes a village to raise a child. That is true, what they say. But it also takes a village just to help with most things in general. That's why they say teamwork makes the dream work. So sometimes you need the father, you need the auntie, you need the grandparents, you need the cousins, you need the other siblings, you need their help as well. And I understand that for some people that can be hard because maybe the father isn't in the picture, maybe the mother isn't in the picture. That's how it was for my life growing up. My mom wasn't in the picture. After that, who is after that? The aunts, the grandparents, the other siblings, the older siblings, the older cousins, if you have close friends like your best friend or whatever. Sometimes you just have to use that extra set of helping hands in order to get things done. So that extra set of helping hands gives me the time to work on creative projects, content, things like that, or even just to take a little bit of time to view other inspiring content and get inspired by that content, and then have that motivation to work on something, or even just a little moment to step outside for a minute. And just by stepping outside, that opens up a whole wave of creation. I know that it may be hard for people that don't have a lot of help from family members or don't have that other parent in the picture, but if you can just find one other person that you trust, and whenever you can have time with that person and they are willing to hold your baby for a few minutes, just take that time and appreciate it. The next thing you can do is, if your baby likes to sit in a bouncer, a walker, or if they like doing tummy time, well, that's something that they need to be doing anyways, regardless if they like it or not. But doing tummy time, playing on those little, tummy time mats that they have with the toys, do what you can with that time. Those things usually have toys attached to them to help with the baby's sensory development, and it keeps their attention for a moment, while they're playing and figuring the things out, like what they're feeling, the different textures or the different sounds from the toys and from the mat and those little crinkly things, and just seeing all the different colors. Most of these can work for, just getting things done around the house as well. So all of these tips are not just for content creation. You can usually do these to clean up your house, or just, have some relaxing time, or go to the bathroom, those type of things as well. You can also do what you can by creating motherhood or parenting type of content. And I know the parenting type of content is probably far from what you thought you'd be making, or probably far from what you've already been making. But maybe that's a new direction you're meant to go in. Maybe it's a new path that you're meant to explore. Like they say, everything happens for a reason. And when you have that baby, it can just, kick gear into a whole lot of different avenues that you never even thought about at first. I never thought I'd be sitting here making content with my baby and about being a new mother, about doing things as a new mother. That type of content was not on my mind until I got pregnant and until I had my baby. And if it is a new path that you end up exploring, who knows, you might be really good at it. And you might help and inspire other parents along the way. While I was pregnant, I used to watch a lot of YouTube channels relating to motherhood and parenthood and things like that. So, you never know who your content could reach, who it could help, and who it could inspire. Take breaks between the process. You may not get everything done in one go or in one take before your baby ends up needing you again. And that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about that. Just do what you can in short periods of time, short amounts of time, short increments of time, whatever way you want to say it. Just take, short times, the 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, to do what you need to do. Then you may need to take a break to get the baby again or get something done. And then when you can, come back to it to create again. Me doing this video now, I had to stop to pick my baby up from the boppy. I had to burp him. I had to continue holding him. I had to talk to him. I had to take a few things to the trash. I had to make him another bottle. I didn't have to, but I chose to, so I wouldn't have to. When the time comes in a few hours to feed him again, the bottle is already ready. It'll just need to be warmed up. I had to use the bathroom. I need to put him down again to change his diaper because he used the bathroom. There's things that you may need to take a break to do, and that's okay. Eventually, I was able to come back and finish everything out. take a walk outside. You know, if he's not inside with another family member, I just put him in his stroller and push him, and we'll take a walk that way. So you can either take a walk by yourself while he's with a family member or someone you know, love, and trust, or you can take your baby with you on the walk. The other day, and that was the recent video I did as well, was me taking him a walk in his stroller through the neighborhood, and I was recording a video while doing that. So sometimes if I'm walking with him, I can record a video, or I can write in my notes app just something to post with, like a blog post or on Instagram, or, you know, just jotting some ideas down for later or whatever. Or I can write a poem, because sometimes when I take a walk, there'll be things that I see or just things that'll pop up in my mind that I feel like, I want to write a poem about this. So I just jot it down, or I'll literally be writing the poem as we're walking. So I did that the other day, and now I have him out here with me, and we're just walking up and down the driveway while I'm recording this video. So that can be a time for both of you to get some nice fresh air outside, enjoy the weather, and just get out the house, because you don't want to be cooped up in the house all the time, especially with a baby. That can drive you crazy, drive you insane. Trust me, because the first month or two, I guess, because he's almost 3 months now, that's what I was doing, like feeling like I was trapped in the house. So now we outside and we feel free. So that can also open up a floodgate of creativity, just being outside in the open, not cooped up, trapped up in a bedroom or in a tiny apartment. Even if you have a big house, like eventually that gets tiring as well, being trapped up in any type of space. Listen, if all else fails with the content creation, at least take 5 or 10 minutes to pour yourself a glass of wine or get a margarita or something, at least. You know, with those things you have to do it in moderation, so don't overdo it. You don't need to go drink no Hennessy or nothing like that. Just get you a nice little glass of wine or a margarita, sit outside or sit in your bedroom, sit in the kitchen, wherever, you know, is comfortable for you, and just have a little drink and unwind and relax and get back to your parenting and your motherhood and everything like that in 5 or 10 minutes from now, or whenever that time is for you. I mean, you never know, that little 5 or 10 minutes with that glass of wine could have been all you needed to get that creation flowing. And you have to do it in moderation and kind of know what you're doing, because you don't want, you know, negative type of thoughts and spirits and things like that to come while you're having that drink. And that's why I say you don't need like Hennessy or nothing like that too. Just something light, and keep yourself light, and you know, it might open up that flow that you needed. Just don't do it every time. You know, use some of the other tips and tricks here and there as well, and just use that one every now and then. If you can think of something else that I may have left out, or something else that you do that you find that helps, you can leave that in the comments. We can, you know, have a whole discussion about that. It could, you know, give me another tip that I can try out, or it can give other parents tips that they can try out as well. Or you can let me know if you use any of the tips that I mentioned. I started recording this video at about 9 a.m. this morning. It is now 4 in the afternoon, and I'm just now getting to my closing statements. That goes to show that sometimes you have to take those breaks and just do what you can when you can, while you can as well. Notice I continue to say, do what you can. Being a parent is a handful, especially if you're a first-time parent or a single parent. I know that they say sleep when your baby is sleeping, and sometimes you do need to get your rest in at that time, but sometimes you're able to sacrifice a nap here and there. Sometimes we want to do the cleaning and things like that when the baby is asleep, and that's necessary as well, but can also be sacrificed here and there. Or we can set a routine for the cleaning and try not to let so much pile up, so much work pile up, so much dishes pile up, so much dirt pile up, dirty laundry, all of that, which I know is another hard task at times. So again, do what you can. Don't put too much stress and pressure on yourself to make and put out content or do any type of creation if your baby needs you. But also, don't stress yourself if you have just 5 or 10 minutes of free time a day or each period throughout the day to sit your baby down, relax, and create something. Your baby won't be a baby forever. One day, they'll be able to walk, talk, play, and create things of their own. So enjoy the baby stage while you can. Enjoy creating while you can.